about it.
Yes, Spencer, you are staying with us for another update. The Trump administration has deported to South Sudan 8 migrants who had been held for more than a month by the US at a military base in Djibouti, according to the Department of Homeland Security. This came after the migrants lost a last-ditch effort to halt their transfer to the politically unstable country. An aircraft carrying the US deportees has arrived in South Sudan, according to 2 officials working at Juba Airport. South Sudan has long been dangerous even for local residents. Reportedly, the US State Department advises citizens not to travel there due to violent crime and armed conflict. The United Nations has said the African country's political crisis could reignite a brutal civil war that ended in 2018. The 8 men, who according to their lawyers are from Cuba, Laos, Mexico, Myanmar, Sudan and Vietnam, had argued their deportations to South Sudan would violate the US Constitution, which prohibits cruel and unusual punishment. Spencer, how unusual is it for the US to deport migrants in this way? We've obviously seen in the Donald Trump administration the use of CCOT in El Salvador, but especially given the instability and the literal State Department's own travel warnings. What's your analysis of the Trump administration's actions in this case?
Well, it's virtually unprecedented. I mean, we can cite a precedent going back, if I remember right, to 1896, where the US Supreme Court ruled against deporting people to other countries where they might be subject to unusually cruel punishments. But to quote a respected American journalist named Adam Serwer, the cruelty is the point here. That was true in the first Trump administration when they were locking migrant children in cages and separating children as young as infancy from their parents. Some of those children are still lost in the system. And the point was, as they admitted at the time, to frighten off future asylum seekers and other immigrants by the sheer, they wouldn't have put it this way, but this is what it was, the sheer cruelty, the deliberately spectacular cruelty of what they were doing. And that seems to be the same here. And also, frankly, it appeals to the worst in human nature that is present in all human beings, in which people can take a certain amount of pleasure from cruelty. There's a certain amount of sadism, unfortunately, in every human heart, and hopefully, you know, most people manage to overcome it and try to live their lives according to the better parts of their natures. But Donald Trump, like so many other authoritarians, part of the way they shore up their power is by appealing to the worst instincts in their followers and giving them these theatrical displays of cruelty so that those people then can take out their own frustrations in life, their own fears, their own hatreds, and project them onto helpless migrants in many cases. Now, these migrants, I should note, apparently are guilty of very serious crimes. But in the United States, that should make no difference whatsoever. We have a system of justice which is supposed to give people punishments appropriate to their crime. These people, apparently those ones who were guilty of crimes, had either finished or nearly finished their sentences. And in no case is the punishment supposed to be cruel or unusual. This is bedrock constitutional law in the United States and really the foundation of a civilized nation, in my opinion.
Yes, Spencer Critchley, thank you very much for your insight and joining us on the program. It's always a pleasure to have you. We now move over to